Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Hi, I came on a bit earlier, around 6 o'clock, but something went a little bit wonky with the reception. Anyway, how are you, darlings? Comments sent with stars will appear here. Oh, please don't send any stars. I think it costs you money if you do. But welcome. Hi, Jackie Elizabeth. How are you, gorgeous? Welcome, 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 darlings. For those who don't know me, my name is Susan Penno. I am a light facilitator. I do all sorts of things to help people using my spiritual abilities, and I work with an amazing team of spirit guides. And I'm here today on a Facebook Live called Love and Light with Spirit. This is, hi Cynthia, how are you, my darling? How are you, gorgeous? Thank you for being here, Jackie and Cynthia. So this week we have, I do a new thing where I don't answer one-on-one questions anymore. If you want to book me for one-on-ones, you can contact me via susanpenno.com and click on the booking link. Hi Veronica, how are you, gorgeous? Thank you for being here. But instead I do, you pick either 1, 2 or 3. So this week is the rose, the daisy or the iris. The week before it was songs, and the week before that it were numbers. It was numbers. So what did you choose? Did you choose the rose? Did you choose the daisy? Or did you choose the iris, which will be revealed either at the end or during this live? Hi Lily, how are you, gorgeous? Oh, Susie, hello, gorgeous. How are you? Well, well, well. Royalty in the house tonight. Now, let's get back into it. So, if you just popped on for the first time and you haven't seen me before, what we do is we do a spiritual discussion, not really a discussion in the sense that you can ask questions towards the end, but I ask my guides to give me information pertaining to what's going on now in the world. And then they bring that information through. And then after that, we have a question and answer. Oh, I'm getting information. Thanks, guides. Okay, triggers. Triggers. That's a good one. Hang on, my little earpod things. In the right way. Do you know last week I had them swapped around? Hilarious. Anyway, I'm on to that now. So, okay. And where are you from in the world? Where are you connecting in from? Hi, Ty. Happy New Year to you too, my darling. You chose the iris, Cynthia. Hi, Peter. How are you, my darling? My darling husband. Choosing the rose. Beautiful. Well, I can't wait to share with you what my guides have said. I notice that I have a lot of drop-offs now that I'm not doing a whole lot of mini readings throughout the live, and that makes me giggle a bit. It was lovely to see you, Veronica. You're the one that pointed it out. It was so nice to see you on Sunday at the Campbelltown Spiritualist Church. It was lovely to give you a hug. And I love that. I'll do some announcements and then I'll go into the talk. So my announcements are, drum roll, you know how last week I had an interview on the Life Reawakened show? That was my 3rd interview, and I'm so excited to say that this Friday at, wait for it, 5 a.m. Sydney time. I love that time though, it's nice and peaceful for me. But 5 a.m. this Friday, I will be on the show again, and I'll be doing mini readings and a light-coded meditation to help connect you with your guides, as well as we're discussing this amazing 3-part workshop, 3-part package that I am presenting through the Life Reawakened show. So that's going to be wonderful. I can't wait. Plus I get to see the wonderful Gretchen again, who's the host of this show. She's just so divine. And for those of you, I know you did Veronica watch last time. Thank you for watching. You can watch the replay. And also, hi Richard, how are you, darling? And also, it depends where you are. So Pacific time is, I believe, ePod things. Pacific time is, I think it's 1 p.m. And Pacific Eastern time is 10 a.m. on the Thursday. So for those, I know there's a lady here from America. She will be, you'll have the opportunity to watch. All right. Oh, you saw it? Yeah, you did. God bless you. You enjoyed the show last week. Thanks. Well, I'm so excited. I'm on again this week. I'm so blessed, aren't I? Now, my darlings, here are my announcements. The first one is on Friday, and then the second one is I have my Channeling and Self-Mastery class. And guess what? I have 2 seats available. So 2 seats have become available. That's if you are in Australia, in Sydney, New South Wales. It is in Gymea, New South Wales. But it's not an open circle where you can just rock up. You need to contact me, and then I'll see if you'll be right for the circle. Channeling and Self-Mastery, it's about, we all get a vibe, a feeling sometimes. This is part of the talk. Well, I love this. We all get a vibe sometimes when we need to pass on something to someone. You know, those times when it could be a stranger just comes up to you and starts offloading their problems or what have you, and you may hesitate in saying something that you feel will help them, and you don't. Then all of a sudden you're pushed to actually pass on, and it's exactly what they need. Has that ever happened to you, where you have been the messenger and you felt an energy somehow pushing you, encouraging you, propelling you to speak those words? And has it ever happened to you where you keep those words inside and you go, no, I can't say it next minute. Bang, it comes out. And you may feel a little bit nervous about it. If that's ever happened to you, then that is spirit working through you, your guardian angels, source energy, your guides, their loved ones. And that is a form of channeling. So in the Channeling Self-Mastery Circle, I teach first conscious channeling. Conscious channeling is you are in your body, consciously aware of all the information that's coming in through you from one of your assigned spirit guides or your spiritual team assigned to you to guide you in this lifetime. And with conscious channeling, the beauty of it is that when you completely surrender, you step in the back and you let them drive the car, so to speak, which is your vessel, you learn. That's wonderful. There's some of the channelers in the class are doing trance channeling, whereas their guide or guides, their team will completely take over. They're there, next minute, bang, their guide comes through and speaks through them, and they have no recollection whatsoever, maybe the first word or so, or sometimes nothing. They're there and then they're gone, and their guide has said something so wonderful to the group. And with that, the participants and the ones that are listening while we all take turns channeling, they receive the most wonderful energy. They bring through teaching techniques. Why I say self-mastery is because it is about self-mastery. It's not just coming and learning to channel. So if you're interested in being part of a serious light circle, where it's not just about channeling, learning how to master that, but you change your way of being, your way of existing, your way of life. Your focus then, your goal, is to be of service to others in your own amazing way, to train your thoughts, your words, your emotions and your actions to resonate to the highest and purest frequencies of divine love. If you feel you're ready for this, if you feel this is something that you would like to immerse yourself in, or at least have a little go to see if it's right for you, then you're more than welcome to give me a call. And so I have 2 seats available. So how exciting. Yay. Okay, my next announcement is, and I'm excited about this, is I'll be having available for a small fee channeled guided meditations. And because they're channeled, they'll be full of frequencies for very specific things, such as grounding, clearing your own energies, clearing your chakras, connecting with your guides, so many different things, even to help create a high frequency in your home, to keep the energy in your home clear. So there will be multiple, I'm sorry, but I'm so excited. I get so excited. I need to calm myself down. There will be multiple channeled guided meditations available, and I'm looking forward to that. And also, if you go on susanpenno.com and you subscribe, I also have a weekly email that I sent out to my subscribers. Currently it's announcing where I am, but it'll also be psychic tips and links to this Facebook page as well. So there you go. It's about energy healing, about all sorts of things that I get as I sit there and type. I'm influenced by my guides through spirit, so it's inspired revelation about something, or a small guided meditation or something like that if I insert a video clip with that. So there you go. So hit the subscribe button as well. Cool bananas. Now let's get into it. So, have I said hello? Hi Murray, how are you, my son? Gorgeous. All right, my darlings. So, this week's talk. Oh, hi Donna, how are you, darling? Welcome. This week's talk is about triggers. Now, it's really interesting, and I'm really glad my guides are bringing this up. What is a trigger? We can have triggers that will trigger a positive feeling, a positive thought, a positive emotion, make us feel amazing. But then we can have those other triggers that will, all of a sudden, we feel down in the dumps, we feel sad, we could even follow into that sadness and feel a bit depressed, or we could feel angry or anxious. My trigger used to create anxiety in me to the point that I'd have asthmatic symptoms and heart palpitations, and I'd feel as if I'm stuck and I can't move. The fear used to fill every part of me, so much so that I would burst into tears even in a public place. I'd always be triggered mainly if I'd lose my way, so if I'm driving and I take the wrong turn. So many people I've accosted with in a tearful state saying, I'm sorry, I'm lost, blah, 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 bawling my eyes out. I don't have that now, and I'm so grateful. There's a technique on my website called the Acknowledging Technique. The Acknowledging Technique I haven't had to look at for a very long time. And that helped me get over 2 fears. The first one is my phobia of spiders, which was unbelievable. And my second one is my extreme fear and shutdown when I'd get lost driving. Now, it's been fast forward to a technique that I'm going to share a technique with you this evening. And they've brought through little bits and pieces with it here and there, but this is specifically for your triggers. So we're going to go into depth here. Where do your triggers come from? Your triggers come from an experience that you've had in the past, and may not, some of you, now and again I come across a person when I'm doing energy work for, and they have no idea where the trigger has come from. They have completely blocked out their past, their childhood, and they don't know, or it could come from a past life. And now here's the thing. For those of you who don't believe in past lives, all I ask you to do is you prove to me that they don't exist. I'm not going to prove to you that they do. I know that they exist because I'm a past life regressionist, and I have also very vivid memories of some of my past lives. So there you go. And love and light to you. Yeehaw. God bless you. Okay, now let's get back onto it. The reason why I say this is because I may come across as a potty old lady sometimes, but now and again I will literally hear, if someone's tuning and watching this live right now, I can hear if it's a thought about me positively, I can hear them and I feel them. If it's anything that goes against what I'm saying, and we're all entitled to our opinion, I hear it. I hear your voice in my head and I feel it. So clear cognitively, my guides will give me a download of what the person's saying, and that's how it works. So apologies for me going off on a bit of a tangent then. Now let's get back into the triggers. I'll share with you a simple technique, but before I do, when you do have a trigger, acknowledge your emotions. It's very important. It may be that you have an abusive, controlling ex that did not allow you. What are your triggers? Let's have some feedback, only if you feel comfortable. So what are your triggers? Where do they come from? I remember having a trigger where every time I'd put on, look really nice and wear some pretty clothes, and I knew they suited me and I'd lost weight and my figure was looking really nice. Not that I wore hot pants or anything like that. Or even to wearing makeup. And it took me years to find out it came from an ex, because every time I'd wear makeup, it'd go, even perfume, can you believe it? Ladies love perfume, even men. For a bit of lipstick, a little bit of mascara, we love our makeup, most of us. And you know what? We're allowed to love our makeup, rock our awesomeness, and express ourselves the way we want to express ourselves. Whether it's perfume, lipstick, hair colour, makeup, a pretty dress, nail polish, or what have you. And all of a sudden I started feeling uncomfortable, and for a while I stopped. And then I'd have a function, whether it was a church function with mum's church or going out with some friends or family, put on lipstick and then freeze. Then I realised it was a trigger from an ex who would be upset every time he'd see me looking amazingly awesome, because the way he sees himself is not as worthy of my amazingness. And for that reason, he would put me down, subtly sometimes, but sometimes in a very nasty, aggressive way. Have you been in a situation where you've been in a relationship where someone has tried to influence you or put you down when you shine brightly? Sometimes it's not a romantic relationship. Sometimes it's a friendship, or sometimes it's a family member. They feel so threatened by your awesomeness because they don't see that in themselves. So to make themselves feel better about themselves, they will make you feel horrible. So Veronica, you said yes. Susie, you had an ex like this too. Oh, Jackie, you're scared of spiders. Try that technique on my website, Take Control. Oh, yes, I do past life regression. Anita, hello, gorgeous. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Amy. Here I go with the highs again. I love you all so much. Oh, group hug. Hi, CK. Hello, darlings. Okay, so getting back to that triggers, and the other trigger I'd have is if I'd hear a loud bang, and if someone came close to me, would suddenly make a really quick arm action, I'd go like this, because my late husband was quite violent. But here I am now. If anyone raises their hand to me, boy, would they cop it. Love and light, naughty girl. That won't happen because my vibration is on a completely different level, and I know what I deserve. So that can never ever happen to me for that reason alone. And if you're having your triggers, I'd like you to take a note of them, write it down. Write down, be aware of you're in a peaceful place, and all of a sudden, this is how you know you're having a trigger. All of a sudden, bang, just like that. It could be a sound, it could be a song that would make you feel uncomfortable or unhappy, and it would make you instantly have an emotional energy, vibration or thought that is not joyful, that is not peaceful. I need you to, from now on, start to acknowledge them so you know when they come up. That's the first thing to do. And how does it make you feel? The second thing to do is acknowledge how it makes you feel, because most of us are not taught how to acknowledge how we feel when we're growing up. And we don't know how to articulate our emotions. And when we do, not all of us, but some of us are shut down because either our mother's too busy cooking or cleaning or what have you, or the environment that we're in as a child is not conducive to us knowing that we can at any time go up to our parents and cry and say, I don't feel happy or I'm angry. We're normally taught to push our emotions down, and we often see this in our parents as well. So our parents are an example, or our environment as we're growing up as children influences us and teaches us how to behave. So the second thing you start doing from now on is acknowledge your emotions. You don't have to cry out to the world, this is how I'm feeling, blah, blah, blah. Acknowledge it for you and say this. So if suddenly I feel, angry out of the blue, I'll go, why am I feeling angry? Where did this come from? I wonder what triggered it. I may not get the reason straight away. That's okay. Move on to the second one as quickly as you can. I acknowledge this anger. I acknowledge that I'm feeling angry, and I acknowledge that I have a right to express myself this way. Then you go back to, why am I feeling angry? What triggered it? And if it becomes very strong, I need you to locate the very special point right here, soft part of your throat, where it meets the bone, the hard part, 1, 2, 3 fingers, okay? So the top of this first finger is in perfect alignment with the soft part of the throat and the bone. And 1, 2, 3. Right underneath the third finger, just push there. That is your pressure point, and you tap. And you say, it's okay, you're safe. Say your name out loud. So I'll use myself as an example. It's okay, Susan, you're safe. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay, you're safe. Take a deep breath. I acknowledge this anger, if it is anger or sadness or what have you. And I choose to let it go because it is not good for me. But I want to know where it came from. What was the trigger? Be aware of your environment. You may not understand, you may not comprehend, you may not receive straight away, but eventually, as you go along doing these techniques, you will. Now once, so if let's just say someone called me Sue instead of Susan. Susan is my birth name, and every time someone would call me Sue, it's connected to someone who was let's just say was quite violent. So if someone calls me Sue, I'm okay, but there was a time where if someone would call me Sue and it was a particular lighting, I would go into meltdown. I'd get so upset and I'd get anxious, then I'd get the heart palpitations, I wouldn't be able to breathe properly, and then I'd get really mad. You know why? Anger is the protection. Anger protects us. It stops us from feeling pain. So it's a natural reaction to pain. And you'll find that as you go along, if you're feeling angry, that anger may change into pain. And what happens is you connect the dots, going back. Eventually you remember what happened. Then you know what you do. It's good if you could journal it too. Not journal it to keep it. I'll show you an exercise after, which is a really empowering one, and I used to love it when I had to do it. You write down, so I'm angry. Where did it come from? And you may find it came from a certain place in your memory, what have you. Where does it feel? How does it make me feel in my body? Write it all down. Write it down. Then you're able to gauge how it's literally influencing you physically, not just mentally and emotionally, but physically. And the reason why it's so important to get on top of these triggers is because our emotions affect our physical health. And on top of that, our emotions are directly linked to how our tomorrows will be, because how we feel the most is going to draw from the universe. This is how it works. It's going to draw from the universe more experiences that make us feel that way. So if we dwell on something negative, we're literally sending a frequency out for that. And things aren't that way because the powers that be want to punish us and are sadistic. No, it's so that we can see within ourselves what we need to work on, so that we can be in a place of peace. And once you're able to achieve that peace, and you can, because if others can do it, you can too. Once you are able to achieve that peace, then your life is so much better. And there's so many things that you can do, because joyful things to make you feel amazing, because your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body is not being caught up in that negative energy that will only keep pulling you down. So we're going to fast forward from that. Once you know where it comes from, then you say, that was then, this is now. Logically, look at the situation. That when that happened to you, you felt a certain way, right? But when that happened to you, you're a completely different person to the person that you are now. And I bet you, if whatever triggered you, whatever that memory is, if you were in that situation, having all the skills, having your ability to speak your truth, going what you've been through, you would not react, you would not put up with. You'd be a completely different person. And that's why you acknowledge that was then. Look at it, how you were. This is me now. And how I am now is amazing. I am empowered. I'm living my truth. I'm living my joy. I'm living my life for me. I'm in control. I'm empowered. I'm awesome. I'm amazing. You say that, and if you're currently stuck in a situation that makes you often feel, there's no such thing. There is no such thing as a perfect relationship. And often too with soulmate situations, your soulmate will push your buttons. Guess what? It's meant to be that way. That's part of the package, so that you see what needs healing in you. But then the goodness, the wonderful qualities far outweigh, and then you grow together. That's the way it works. However, if you're stuck in a relationship, friendship, you're in a situation, even a work situation, where you are often made to feel by the actions of others uncomfortable, like people bullying you, what have you, then you need to do something about that and get out of there. Contact whoever you can to help you get out of this situation, because you deserve better. All right? So as you tap, this is what you do. And the other thing you do is to help set in new triggers. So If a particular word, such as someone calling you a certain name, a food, a fragrance, anything, if that has triggered that, then you need to turn those triggers into blessings for you. And this is how you do it. You tap to release. Once you tap to release, you then breathe, continue to breathe and tap until you feel in a state of peace. And once you feel in a state of peace, you say, okay, I understand why that happened. And I need you to trick your mind or train your mind to create new triggers, and this is how we do it. We will, so I'll use myself as an example. Let's just say every time I'm going out with friends and now and again I have a glass of wine or a schooner or two is new, just a scenario, I'm just painting a picture, then I can smell somebody with a very intense beer breath or something like that, and suddenly I feel nauseated, or suddenly I feel a little bit fearful or uncomfortable, panic, may get a sense that I want to go home. Stop. Acknowledge how it's making you feel. Take note of it. Even put it on your phone for a reminder. When you get home, sit down, ask your guardian angels, your spirit guides to help you, and this is what you do. When I was out and about, I got triggered by smelling strong beer on someone's breath and made me feel, speak it out as if you're speaking to a best friend. And then you ask your guides, where did this come from? In my case, I can trace it back to an ex. Okay. And then I would say, okay, I know where this came from then. And if I start to feel uncomfortable, I tap on that pressure point. Okay, 3 fingers down, tap. And I say, it's okay, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. And you say your name out loud, and you say, Susan, you are safe, or whatever your name is. You are safe, it's okay. And take a deep breath. It's okay, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Say it until you feel peaceful and calm. And then stop tapping. And then you acknowledge the past. Acknowledge how it made you feel and speak these words out loud. I acknowledge the past. I acknowledge how it made me feel. I also acknowledge where I am now. I'm not in the past, I'm in the present. And where I am, that can never happen to me, because that is in the past. My life has completely changed. And then you tap and you breathe in. Think of the smell of beer, or if you're in the environment where it is, and you can do it if it's at home, think of the smell of the beer. You may even open some beer, and a bottle of beer, whatever, just to smell it, to make it stronger. But if you have a strong imagination and sense like I have, all you have to do is ask your guides to remind you what it smells like. And you're thinking of the smell of it, and you're saying, I'm safe, I'm safe. And open and close your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you're taking in your situation, the lighting, and then you close your eyes. When you're closing your eyes, you're taking a snapshot. That's your intention. You take a snapshot of how your environment looks, what you can smell, what you can taste, how you feel physically, how you feel emotionally, how you feel spiritually, in every single way. And then you say, while you're tapping, I am safe. And open, close your eyes, take a snapshot. Take a snapshot. When you're at home and you get these triggers, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. If you're out and about and it happens, then sit with your guides and ask them to recreate the triggers when you are out and about, so that you can do this technique. And you're using your memory as well, and it works. The reason why I know is because this was given to me by my spirit guides to pass on to others. And I often pass this technique, even today, to people who have been through some traumatic situations, and they have these triggers that will just come up. It's just learning how to be in control rather than be controlled by them. And so when you do this, you're taking the snapshots, you're creating new triggers. What you're doing now is you're then replacing, for example, the smell of the beer or the triggers in your environment, or it's a name. They're now going to trigger you feeling good because you're telling yourself, I'm amazing. You end off with saying, I am amazing. I feel amazing. I feel good. I love who I am. I've come such a long way. Look at me. Look how strong I am. You're tapping. I'm so amazing. I am so amazing. Pause. Take a deep breath. You're breathing in, I am amazing, right? You're breathing it in. What does it smell like in your environment as you're saying you are amazing and acknowledging it on every level? What is the taste on your tongue? What is the lighting? What colours are in your environment? What are the clothes you wear? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel hot? Do you feel cold? Do you understand? You then create, your deep subconscious mind will accept these. And you're doing it consciously. You're consciously being in control. So the triggers that were once triggers for negative experiences now become triggers to make you feel as if you are amazing, because you are absolutely amazing in every single way. There you go. So that's something that you can do for yourself. And okay, thank you, guides. Earlier on, before we started getting into the triggers, my guides mentioned something about channeling. You know those times when you feel a push to say something to someone, or give someone a call just to see how they are, or take some bread to a neighbour. Suddenly you say, I don't know why I'm getting this extra loaf of bread. You don't know who's going to come knocking on the door hungry. It may not be for a literal loaf of bread. It could be for a smile, for a hello. Start being more aware of your guidance from your guides, which is constant. They always speak to you. They're always telling you how amazing you are, to keep going, that they're there for you. And those same little pushes and those inklings and that guidance, even if it's very subtle sometimes that you receive, that is coming from some place. And your guides would like you to start being more proactive. Not wait until they come up and say, hey, don't buy that, you'll get sick. Or, you know, sometimes you get that thought, I don't know why, I got a funny feeling about buying this, or going on that train, or going into that shop, or for whatever reason, or trusting that person. Those are your guides working in the background, rather than wait for them to warn you when something's coming up to help you. Your guides are asking you to call them every day, acknowledge them every single day, and whenever you need help in any area of life, it doesn't matter what area it is, ask your guides to help you, and then be open for the messages they bring. This is how they bring messages. They bring messages where you'll have a friend, and then another friend, then maybe a stranger that will repeat a phrase, and it'll match up to what you asked for. It could be a Facebook post on Facebook Live that someone keeps sharing over and over again, and it will have something that's relevant to your question. So, all knowing, be open. Be open, that's what they're asking. All right, my darlings. Hi, Erica, how are you? Hi, Danielle, how are you? Hi, Stephen. How, Tanya? Oh, you're welcome, Richard. God bless your cotton socks. Okay. Hi, Anita. How are you, bub? All right. Family. Now, are you ready? Are you ready, my darlings? Which did you pick? Did you pick the rose? Did you pick the daisy, or did you pick the iris? I'm going straight for the iris because my guides are making me. Now, with the iris, okay. Oh, wow, that's a strong energy. Hands up as if I can see you. Baby, hands up. Hands up if you pick the iris. Let's have a look if you're going to put your hands up on the live. All right, my darling. So, those of you who picked the iris, integrity is the most important thing for you, and honesty. And what you guys want to tell you about this is you're a person that is honourable. You're very hardworking. Sorry, my AirPod things. Hello, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? My ears must be too big. I hope you can hear me because it sounds a bit funny in my ears now. But what they're showing me is those who pick the iris, you're the type of person who speaks your truth. You're someone who's trustworthy. You're honourable. Integrity means a lot to you. And your Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, my guides are asking you to step back a bit when it comes to not everybody has the same concept regarding how things should be done. That's for the irises. And you have to remember and acknowledge that people are influenced and ingrained to do things a certain way. So what Spirit's saying is you will have so much more peace in your life if when people do things to push your buttons, wonderful darling irises, you can see them instead of their actions or non-actions irritating you. Instead you can say, they don't understand that yet. I wish them well. That is one of the most wonderful things you can do. Do you know why? You then free yourself from looking at that source of irritation, and instead you're blessing yourself because you have just wished them well. Like attracts like. You wishing them well, those wishes come back to you as good energy. So there you go. And you also need to understand and not just acknowledge but accept, for those of you who are still working, that not everyone has the same work ethic. You're the type of person that'll just go and go and go like an ever-ready battery. For those of you who are in Australia and know that ad, I don't know if you have the ad in the States, but the ever-ready battery's meant to be really strong, and it makes the toy, whatever it is, I think it was a monkey, banging on cymbals to keep banging, banging, banging. It lasted longer than the others. So irises, you are an ever-ready battery. You'll work, work, work. And not everyone has your work ethic. And that's where they are, so you wish them well. The other thing too is I feel some really good opportunities for you coming up regarding either new job or new position, higher position, elevated position, or, and I've got goosies with this too, as they're giving to me, it could be some investment, something that you put your money in. It's going to, you'll receive good dividends. There's something about something you put in your energy in, it's going to give you back blessings in a monetary way. So, woohoo! That is so awesome. So I'll leave that with you, and God bless you, wonderful irises. Now the next one, they're going back to front. Oh, they said irises first. Now they're saying the rose. So who chose the roses, darlings? Who chose the roses? Whoever, you can hear me clearly about my past lives. Donna Evans, hi lovely, any messages about, oh Donna my darling, so I've changed my format, hun. I was guided by my guides not to do any more one-on-one readings, so I'm just catching you up. I don't do one-on-one readings anymore. I give a spiritual talk, so it's spiritual education, passing on messages from my spirit guides. Then I do the message reveal. This week it's flowers. What is your favourite flower? What one are you called to? Is it the rose, the iris, or the daisy? If it was the iris, then I've just passed on information pertaining to the iris. Now the next one's the rose. I'll leave the daisy for last. How exciting. What they give me with the rose is, thank you. You're very sensitive. Oh! You tend to give more than you receive, and which makes you even more endearing. You have the most beautiful smile, beautiful, blessed presence, and wonderful energy. I'm not saying the irises don't, you absolutely do, okay? But with the rose, this is what they're highlighting, this compassionate and nurturing, loving, giving more than they receive. Not because you were programmed, it was in your programming, but because it is in your soul nature to do so. You have a very strong past life where there's a lot of wealth connected to you, and also connecting to your past life, the ones that chose the roses. You've been through multiple lifetimes and you've reached one where, or several ones where you were completely immersed in spirituality. And they're flashing monks, hermits, nuns, priests, and all shamans. So completely immersed in spiritual life. So where you are right now, money is not important to you. You see money as, well, I need money to eat. I need money to pay my bills, to have a roof over my head, clothing, etc. But it's not what drives you. What drives you is making other people happy. Oh my goodness, sweetie pies. So it's making other people happy. And then what they're saying regarding this is, this year it's really important for you to work a little bit on boundaries, all right? In the sense that they want you to use more of your time giving to you. They want you to use more of your time in, there's some type of project that you're meant to be working on. I see an orange spiral in the vision. Whenever I see an orange spiral, goosebumps. This is either something that you're working on, a project, something you're creating. You have a creative energy. There are gold sparks. This is a year for you to not just have an idea, maybe jot it down, but not really follow it through. Follow through your creativity. Follow through your ideas, whether it's starting up a small business, whether it's learning a new skill that is connected with the creative energy. It will fulfill you in the most amazing ways and make you shine even more. And with the boundaries, it's okay to say no, you know. It's all right to say no. In fact, you're meant to. When you say no, that's part of your self-mastery. Recently, I've had to say no to someone who became very rude, and then I had to speak my truth and explain to them that what they did was unacceptable. So there'll be some times in the beginning of the year where you will be facing in this situation. Ask your guides if you will feel uncomfortable in speaking your truth and having to draw that line in the sand and saying, no, you've crossed the boundary. You don't do that anymore, or go, or close the door on a friendship, or what have you. But you have to, because it's part of you honouring yourself, and it's all part of the self-mastery. So I'll leave that with you. God bless you. Now let's get on to the daisies. Okay, so what are they showing me about the daisies? Oh my goodness gracious me. Okay, thank you. Nature and trees. Trees, 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 trees. I can hear the ocean. I can smell the ocean. It's It's very important they're highlighting grounding for the daisies. Daisies, you have so much wisdom. You watch. You may not often give your opinion, you'll reach a phase in your life, or you're walking into an area in your life now where you are learning to observe and don't speak and offer your advice unless somebody asks it of you. You are learning that when people offload on you, because you are a healer, wow, you have strong healing codes. You are actually learning, the ones that chose the daisy, that when people come to you complaining all the time with their problems, they don't want a solution. They want you to listen, because they haven't felt as if they... And I'm talking about people that complain about the same thing. They don't mean to be annoying with their complaints. They are stuck because somewhere in their soul history, they were never made to feel as if what they felt and what they were going through was acknowledged. And what they want is to hear you say, oh, there, darling. Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. Or they just want you just to say nothing, just listen. And then you can finish, when they finish talking, you can say, I'm sorry that happened. And then they have been acknowledged, and you'll find that those ones will complain less and less, because with you they feel as if you hear them, you can hear them, you're acknowledging what happened to them. You may want to say a little bit extra, but it's up to you. It depends on your nature as well. But that's what I see with the daisies. And with the daisies, it's time to get off the procrastination wheel. Sweet little darling angels. There's something that you've been sitting on. It's going round and round in circles. And some of you, because they're highlighting procrastination, some of you are not taking supplements. You spend a lot of money on something expensive, but you're not. It's just sitting there. And I can hear one of you say, no, I take them. No, you're not. You're not taking them all the time. You take it, then you think, I'm okay, then you leave it. It could be that. It could be you need to go for a walk because you feel better. You have to look after your physical body as well. Or there's something that you're not meant to have, such as you may be diabetic, but you keep having sugar, too much sugar, and so on and so on. Or you may have an allergy to wheat, and every time you have wheat, you ache in your joints and you get a sore stomach. Or drink milk that's not lactose free and you get a sore stomach, but you still do it. I'm asking you, why do you do that to yourself? Where's it coming from? What is stopping you from stepping into your awesomeness? Ask yourself and use the technique for triggers, but apply it to when you procrastinate, when you do things that are not blessing you. And then you'll find out why, and then you can heal that, and then you'll find, I don't feel like that anymore. I feel amazing. So there you go, my darlings. I really hope that makes sense to you. I hope that's made sense to you. Hi, Kat. How are you, my darling? Hi, Shauna. Hi, Danielle. So did that make sense to you, darlings? And also, I just like to say, Happy Chinese New Year. It's the year of the snake. It's meant to be a really good year for me. Before I go, I'd like to share something very important with you. And this will help all of you if you don't know this. What we believe, what we accept as a truth will influence us, correct? And maybe you say, well, what if it is the truth? But what say it's someone else's belief in someone else's reality? And let's say it is the truth, but you can change the truth to change your reality. I know I'm going round and round in circles, but I have to tell you something really important that happened. My beautiful soul sister, Virginia. She's in the UK. I absolutely adore her. Anyway, we used to work at our bookstore together, and one day I'm in there. I didn't know what Mercury retrograde was, and people are having all these problems with this Mercury retrograde. I am not saying it's not true, because I believe it is true, but not for me, because I won't accept it. I want to teach you something. And then they said, you don't know what's Mercury retrograde, you'll read it. And I said, yeah, but I live under my own mushroom and I just focus on myself. I'm not into these things, so I haven't heard of them. So they taught me. I went, oh. Then I hear, be careful, Mercury retrogrades next week, blah, blah, blah. My mind, tick, 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 the clock, whirring around my brain. So because it's Mercury retrograde, this is my expectations are that blah, 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 blah. Sign contracts, agreements, legal agreements, things are going to go haywire with communication. And my guides gave Virginia and myself this incredible revelation, and I would like to share it with you, and it's worked for us. In some place in the world, in the universe, is the opposite of Mercury retrograde. So what we did, we sat with our guides and we asked them to attune our energy to that frequency for ourselves whenever there's a Mercury retrograde. And you know what? It worked. It actually worked. There are so many other things too. And, you have a look at, you really need to study things properly. Have a look at the law of attraction. If I believe that, then it will happen. If I believe something, if I accept it, that's my reality. If I accept it as my belief, it becomes part of my reality, right? It's true, isn't it? I can prove it to you. Look at the sugar pills. Look at the sugar pills. You believe it. I can prove it in this way too. For cancer patients in New Zealand, they had many, many years ago before I came to Australia, they had cancer patients in all the different stages and all different types of cancer. Not with the blood cancer, but with the tumours. And they split them up in equal groups. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, Stage 4. All right. With one, they had the traditional chemo radiation. And their tumours shrunk. But with the second group, they used visualization techniques, and every single day they went to their therapy, their treatment, where they were given a board where you could attach like a Velcro board, and he attached a Velcro picture of a tumour that had layers like an onion, so you could peel it off. And this is what they did in the therapy with ones in each stage. They got them to look at the tumour on the board. Then they got them to close their eyes. And he said this to them: I want you to know how powerful your body is. And I want you to see all the fighting soldiers in your body, seeking out all cancer, wherever it is in your body, and eating away at it, and see those tumours shrinking. See them shrinking until they do not exist, and you feel better and better, and you feel happy. Oh, and he say, open your eyes. He had peeled away a layer of the tumour so it looked smaller. So visually, they got the visual of seeing a smaller tumour. Guess what? They had the same results as the ones who had the chemo. This is something that was put in a documentary. Your mind is very powerful. I'm not saying this Mercury retrograde does not exist, but I'm saying don't accept it, breathe it, live it, and focus on it. Instead say, it's happening, but it's not affecting me. And just keep the light frequency so bright around you by focusing on how you want things to be for you, and then you see the magic happen, because your thoughts, your imagination is the beginning of what you create. There are so many things that we have to experience in our life. But we have all this space where we can choose to have things the way we want them to be for us. And that's all part of our self-mastery. We're all learning how to be aware of this incredible energy and how we can use it for ourselves. We've been so indoctrinated to accept blindly that it must be a certain way. And my guides are bringing this through me for you to say, open up, wake up your senses, open your eyes, stop accepting something negative as being factual unless you explore the possibility that there is an alternative way of that to be for you. So I'll leave that with you. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining me with Love and Light with Spirit. And I am looking forward to doing this again for you next Wednesday. Big hugs and God bless you, everyone. Mwah.